So picture this scene. It's from P.G. Sebastian's work, and it feels, well, uncomfortably real for a lot of people. You've got this tense quiet in a marriage. Things are clearly strained.
Right.
And John, the husband, he finally notices how utterly exhausted his wife Sarah is. She's scrubbing a pot like it personally offended her.
That kind of fury scrubbing, we know it.
Exactly. And he thinks he's found the magic words. He turns to her, all open hands, and says, "Just tell me what to do. I'll help. Just make a list."
Oh, boy. And if you haven't been Sarah or John in that moment, you probably heard about it. It sounds like he's trying, like he's offering effort.
But Sarah's response, that's the kicker, isn't it? P.G. Sebastian captures the whole, tragedy of it. She just stops scrubbing and lets out the sigh that sounds like it's carrying years. Just wait. And she says, "That's the entire problem, John. That. Right there."
Wow. Yeah, and that right there, that interaction, that's the paradox we're diving into today, drawing from P.G. Sebastian's insights. Why would an offer of help land, like he calls it, profound aggression sometimes? Why does "make me a list" spark rage instead of relief?
It's because, as Sebastian points out, John totally missed the real issue. He offered to do tasks. He didn't offer to share the mental load.
That's the invisible iceberg, isn't it? The huge difference between doing chores and actually co-managing a life.
Right.
And that's really central to the work within the Steps to Forever ecosystem.
Right. Taking these complex relationship dynamics and making them, clearer.
Actionable.
Which is what P.G. Sebastian focuses on, bridging that gap between understanding the problem and actually knowing what to do about it. It aligns perfectly with the Steps to Forever tagline.
Because forever should be built with clarity. And you can't build with clarity if you don't even agree on what the problem is.
Okay, so let's define this mental load thing properly, based on how Sebastian frames it. It's not just washing dishes or paying bills.
No.
It's the constant background processing, the anticipating needs, remembering birthdays, dentist appointments, knowing when you're low on milk, managing schedules, basically being the family's project manager, human Google, and quality control all rolled into one.
Exactly. So when John asks for that list, he's essentially saying, okay, you keep being the CEO, the manager, just give me, the employee, my tasks for today.
Ugh, yeah. And he doesn't see that making the list is actually a huge part of the work she's already doing. He's asking her to do more managing, not less.
And that dynamic, Sebastian points out, fosters incredible loneliness.
Yeah.
If you're always the one who has to notice what needs doing, figure it out, and then delegate, you're not really partners, are you?
Not in that cognitive space, no. Your brain is just always on.
And P.G. Sebastian suggests this isn't necessarily about bad intentions, but maybe about cognitive conditioning, how we're often socialized.
Right. He talks about how many men are sort of conditioned to see things as discrete, solvable tasks. You do the thing, it's done, check.
Whereas women are often socialized into this state of perpetual awareness, seeing the whole interconnected web.
Like the dishwasher example Sebastian uses. It's perfect. John sees run the dishwasher, 5-minute job, done, feels helpful, clocks out. But when Sarah looks at the dishwasher, it triggers this whole cascade, right? It's, okay, check the soap. Oh, we're low. Gotta add the baby-safe kind to the list. Run it before breakfast so the lunch containers are clean. Oh, and remember, the plumber needs under the sink cleared out tomorrow.
Right. The single task is just one tiny node in this massive system she's running, often completely alone in her head.
And that leads to this phrase from P.G. Sebastian that just hits hard. He calls the request, "Just make me a list," a masterpiece of passive management.
Oof. Yeah, that is pointed. But it makes sense when you break it down. It does two things at once, doesn't it?
It really does. First, the person asking for the list basically declares, my brain is off the hook. I don't need to think. Just tell me. Freedom from the cognitive burden.
Check. And second,
it shoves the entire burden of project management, the auditing, the planning, the delegating, keeping track right back onto the partner who's already drowning in it.
so the manager has to do an extra layer of managerial work, just so the helper can do one layer of execution work.
Yeah. So think about that for a second. You listening right now. Are you asking for a true partner, someone to share the thinking with? Or are you maybe, without realizing it, looking for someone to just follow orders?
Because if you need that list, you're still making your partner your boss in that moment.
And the fallout from that dynamic? Well, Sebastian argues it's pretty catastrophic. It goes way beyond just feeling annoyed about chores.
Definitely. Let's talk costs. First, there's how society kind of reinforces this whole thing.
Oh, totally. Sebastian nails this. When a guy helps out by, say, finally doing the vacuuming after being asked 5 times.
He's a hero. What a great husband. So involved.
Exactly. But when his wife does the exact same chore or manages the 10 things that led to the vacuuming needing to be done.
Crickets. That's just baseline expectation. Tuesday.
Right, so the praise reinforces his idea that he's a volunteer, graciously donating his time, while she's the default stakeholder who's always on the clock.
And the biggest casualty of this imbalance, according to Sebastian, intimacy.
The death of intimacy, that's a phrase he uses.
It makes sense. You can't really feel open, relaxed, vulnerable desire for someone you are actively managing, like an employee, or, frankly, sometimes like a child.
That resentment it builds.
Right.
It's like acid, isn't it? It just eats away at connection. How can you feel romantic towards someone when you're mentally running through the checklist of things they forgot to do?
You can't. The manager role and the lover role, they clash. Fundamentally kills that peer-to-peer feeling.
But there's another cost, one that's maybe less obvious, but really insidious, the economic cost.
Yes. The economic suppression. Talk about that.
Well, every bit of brain power, every ounce of cognitive energy a woman spends tracking household inventory, scheduling maintenance, remembering relatives' birthdays, coordinating childcare.
That's energy she cannot spend on her own career, right? On studying for a certification, on networking, on strategic thinking for her job, even just on resting so she can be effective tomorrow.
Exactly. She's effectively subsidizing her partner's career focus, his leisure time, his mental peace, with her unpaid, invisible mental labor.
Which is why PG Sebastian uses that really stark term, parasitic relationship.
It's harsh, but when you think about the resource drain, one person gets to fully focus outward because the entire domestic infrastructure is being mentally managed for them by the other person.
It's a direct economic benefit flowing one way, fueled by the other person's cognitive load. So yeah, think about your own bandwidth, everyone listening. What could you be doing, learning, achieving if your brain wasn't constantly tracking household logistics someone else could be tracking?
It's a powerful question. And this whole system, this imbalance, it usually only breaks when the owner, Sarah, in our example, just hits a wall.
Burnout. She finally says, nope, no more lists. I can't.
And then what happens? Chaos, usually. The house starts falling apart. Bills don't get paid. Appointments get missed. There's no toilet paper.
That's the reckoning, as Sebastian calls it. The moment Junk is standing there amidst the mess and his go-to defense, but you never told me, suddenly sounds, well, exactly like what it is.
An admission, right. An admission that he's basically been a passenger in his own life, waiting for the pilot, his wife, to give instructions.
And that dynamic has to be shattered, not just patched up.
So the real solution isn't John promising to get better at following lists. It's structural. It's about shifting ownership.
Exactly. PG Sebastian is clear. Move from task delegation to ownership transfer. This is the key.
Okay, so break that down. What's the difference?
Okay, a task is take out the trash when it's full. An owned domain is trash and recycling management. Meaning, if you own that domain, you're responsible for the whole thing. You monitor the bins, you know the pickup schedule. You notice when you're running low on bags, you add bags to the shared grocery list yourself without anyone prompting you.
Ah, okay. So the goal is the other partner.
The other partner is now completely off the clock for trash and recycling. It vanishes from their mental radar. They don't have to think about it at all.
That sounds revolutionary, actually.
It is, but it requires a real shift. And Sebastian acknowledges sometimes there are skill gaps, right? Maybe one person genuinely is better at managing finances, for example.
Yeah, so what then? Does ownership transfer still work?
PG Sebastian's take is pragmatic. Co-ownership of the mental load doesn't mean you both have to do 50% of every single task.
Okay.
It means the cognitive weight, the managerial responsibility needs to be balanced. So if one person owns the finance domain because they're skilled at it, the other needs to take on a domain of equivalent complexity and mental effort, like maybe kid schooling and activities logistics.
Got it. So the burden is shared equally, even if the tasks are specialized based on skills or preference.
Precisely. And this hinges on what Sebastian calls the mutual release, which might be the toughest part emotionally.
Okay, what needs releasing?
Two things. One, the person who was the helper needs to actually step up and embrace the full weight of owning their domains, feel the discomfort, learn the ropes, take the initiative, release the passivity.
And the other side?
The person who is the owner has to consciously let go. They need to release that tendency towards, well, Sebastian calls it maternal gatekeeping.
That urge to control the outcome because maybe based on past experience, you don't trust it'll get done right or done at all.
Exactly. And while that urge might stem from legitimate past frustrations for the system to change, she has to accept that done by her partner might look different from done her way, but done is progress. She has to release that need for control.
So he releases passivity, she releases control. That's the core of trust needed for real partnership.
That's the mutual act right there. And to make this stick, to make it practical, Sebastian recommends a specific tool, the clarity meeting.
Right. I like how structured this is. It takes the emotion out of the nagging cycle.
Totally. It's a non-negotiable, maybe 30 minutes once a week. Think of it like a quick C-suite meeting for the business of your family life.
Okay.
It's not for hashing out feelings about the domains. It's for logistics and accountability updates. You quickly review the areas of responsibility, the AORs.
So instead of nagging, did you pay the electricity bill?
It's, okay, finances AOR update. Yep, I have finances, all bills paid, confirmed retirement transfer, great. Holiday logistics AOR. That's me, flights booked, email the guest list draft.
Ah, so the former helper is now reporting as a fellow executive. They own their domain status. Accountability replaces the need for reminding.
Exactly. It institutionalizes the ownership shift.
That combination, transferring ownership of domains, and then having this regular structured check-in that feels like a pathway out of the resentment cycle.
It's the path Sebastian lays out toward a marriage where both people feel like genuine partners, equals, stakeholders, truly free.
Okay, so let's recap the core message here. Stop thinking in terms of helping or managing.
Right. Shift from just doing tasks to truly owning domains. Take on the full mental responsibility for your areas.
Use something like the clarity meeting to keep things structured and accountable, replacing that whole nagging dynamic.
And remember, the ultimate goal here, as PG Sebastian emphasizes, isn't just to tidy your house or a smoother schedule.
No, it's much deeper. It's about eliminating that corrosive resentment that absolutely kills intimacy and desire.
It's about building your relationship, your forever, with genuine clarity and true partnership. That deep connection is almost impossible when one person feels like the other's manager.
The goal is getting the management role out of the bedroom, essentially.
Well put. So we really encourage you, if this resonates, dive deeper. Explore PG Sebastian's work on this. Find his articles, maybe on his Substack, Steps to Forever.
Yeah, the details on setting up AORs, running clarity meetings, tackling the emotional side, it's all there to help you put this into practice.
And thank you truly for tuning in, for subscribing, hitting notifications, making this part of your drive or your workday. Engaging with these ideas matters.
It really does. Because clarity builds forever. We'll catch you on the next deep dive.